to welcome our guest.
A very good afternoon to everyone present over here. I, on behalf of Department of Marketing, Bharat Mother College, take up this opportunity with much privilege and welcome the speaker of the session. With immense pleasure, let me introduce the speaker for the session, Dr. Shefali Nandan, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Business Administration, University of Allahabad. Dr. Shefali Nandan graduated from Isabella Thoburn College, Lucknow, with a Bachelor of Science degree with specialization in zoology, botany, and chemistry in the year, followed by post-graduation degrees, Master of Science with specialization in organic chemistry and Master of Business Administration with specialization in human resource management from Lucknow University. She was awarded PhD in the year 2006 from Central University, Sagar, in the area of human resource management. She has nearly 22 years of experience as faculty in renowned institutions. Dr. Shefali Nandan has been working as assistant professor in the Department of Commerce and Business Administration, University of Allahabad from 16th November 2015. She has marked her contributions in various projects sponsored by international universities, which includes American Hellenic University and University of Bergamo. Moving on to her recognitions, Dr. Shefali Nandan has got Best Paper Award for the paper in National Conference organized by Navrachna University, National Teachers Day Award 2021 for Best Faculty in Business Administration by Center for Professional Advancement, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, 2019 Emerald Literati Awards, and second Best Paper Award at Idea Conclave on Colleging Futuristic Skills Landscape for New India. She has developed various courses in the area of human resource management for distinguished universities like University of Allahabad, IGNOU, New Delhi, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, Rajashree Tandon, Open University, Allahabad. As a researcher, Dr. Shefali Nandan has a great profile of 2 books, 17 book chapters, and 56 publications in international and national journals. She is currently guiding 4 PhD students. She has served as member in various professional bodies like National Human Resource Development Network, Association of Indian Management Scholars, and a continuing member in the Indian Society of Training and Development. It's our pleasure to have you with us today, ma'am. Once again, hearty welcome to the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, you may start the session now.
Okay. So I thank Dr. Chaitra for such an elaborate and lavish introduction. I thank the principal of Bharat Mata College, the vice principals, and Dr. Sujit for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my perspective with you on the topic that I'm just going to introduce to you. So I'll first share my screen. So is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. So the topic on which I'm going to deliberate today is rethinking talent management strategies for new age organizations. So the theme of the seminar is sustainable business model innovation and management practices, priorities and perspectives. So I'll be talking something from HR perspective, and it will be about, we'll see how talent management strategies are changing or will be required to be changed in the modern organizations. So when we say new age organizations, these are the organizations that have readiness to work in networked economy, adopt new technology. They are ready to understand the needs of new age customers. They consider employees as the most vital resource and understand their needs. They respond to the changes in the external environment. They focus on ongoing learning, and more importantly, they are flexible. They are flexible so that they can bring changes in their systems as and when required in response to the changes in the environment. So there is big need for agility in the organizations, in the new age organizations. Here, I would like to bring to the notice this COVID-19 case. So during this period, this airlines called Virgin Atlantic, it loaned its, sorry, just put it on silent mode. So the Virgin Atlantic, it loaned its furloughed flight attendants to UK hospitals. And what were these attendants were required to do? They would help these hospitals in customer care. So this shows that employees today have to be versatile enough. They should be flexible enough so that they step out of their usual jobs and add value in new ways as and when required. This is the changing world of work. Today, work comes as fashion. Employers are following the latest trends in the environment. They are chasing worker sentiments, competitor strategies, and marketplace dynamics. So companies are responding and reacting to the trends, but then what are they doing? Many of them are not trying to connect their actions to their workforce strategy. So companies need to differentiate their own worker-employer relationship in a sustainable way so as to attract and retain talent rather than just following what is going on in other companies, other firms, just as fashion, whether it suits them or not. So that is not to be done. Human resource management has evolved over decades. So it has come a long way from being branded as personnel department to human resources to being called people function and to being called employee experience. And its role has also been changing from being just an administrator to now being a business partner. And the changes like increasing connectivity, evolving talent models, modern technology, they all have implications for HR functions. Work is getting redefined and jobs are being reinvented to create new value, and therefore nature of HRM is changing. The fact that we are interacting today in this online mode itself is showing how things are changing in the world of work. So the future of work is being shaped by two powerful forces. One is growing adoption of digital technology, and second is the growing importance of skills. So these are the two major forces that are shaping the world of work. The traditional work model, as we know, it comprises certain jobs, the rigid structures of the job where standardized tasks are done, and decisions about workers are made based on the basis of their job in the organizational hierarchy. So whether it's about salary, benefits, performance appraisal, everything is done on the basis of what tasks are they performing in their job, tasks which are fixed, and where do they stand in organizational hierarchy. But this model hinders some of very important organizational objectives like achieving agility, growth, and innovation. Because when we talk of agility, innovation, growth, it all requires flexibility. But today's job structures are rigid. Organizations want to achieve diversity, inclusion, equity, and traditional work model hinders in achieving these objectives. And also, they want to offer positive workforce experience. So there is a need to change the work model. So digital transformation of organizations is taking place. and new talent management strategies are getting evolved. So when we say digital transformation, it means adopting digital methods in the processes and functions of the organization. And this digital transformation is giving certain benefits to the organizations that include improved employee experience, simplified business processes, and better data-driven decision making. We all are using digital technology at work, so we understand how is it giving us a positive experience. But in the organization, when this digital transformation is taking place, it also means that big changes are taking place. And change is one thing that people do not adopt so easily. So when HR leads the digital transformation movement, they ensure that the chosen technology and processes put people and culture first. So technologies have to be in accordance with people. They have to prepare the people for it. And also that changes are accepted by all the employees in the organization, because most of the times when something new comes in, there is resistance to change. So HR has to ensure that. So when we talk of digital transformation, we'll talk about some of the HR processes themselves that have got digitally transformed. So now companies are adopting digital onboarding. Now we have organizations that may not even have physical existence. There are virtual organizations. There are organizations that work in hybrid mode. So there are certain employees who would never go to office, a place called office, because everything is existing in virtual world. They might not directly interact with their colleagues. So digital onboarding has come to the rescue, and it is structured, strategic, and ensures that new hires feel welcomed, supported, and equipped to do their best work. So this one company, Sprout Social, they hire in cohorts and they ensure that all the new hires from all the departments, they form a bond with other new hires as they are learning about the company and the culture together online. So this is an intentional process which brings together all the new hires. So this is what the page of the onboarding portal would look like. So the first day of the employee, when the employee logs in, he or she would be welcomed by the company. They will get to know about the resources that they can use and other necessary things that they will be requiring. So all the information is given digitally. Then next is employee self-service service portals are there. This is facilitating HR department. So according to one study by McKinsey, it was found that employees spend nearly an entire day per week looking for company information like how much vacation time do I have? Who do I alert when I need to take a sick leave? Or what are the different healthcare benefits for my family? So they would go to HR personnel, ask them, call them about all these queries. So there is one employee self-service portal that has been developed, and every question can be resolved by easily accessible these portals. So HR can also save a lot of time, and employees will also be facilitated. Then there is people's analytics. So it is the application of data-driven decision making to HR processes. A lot of data is collected about employees, relevant data, and then decisions can be made on the basis of that data, decisions related to talent management, employee retention, succession planning, and other HR processes. Then there is one artificial intelligence powered applicant tracking systems. companies are now using it in a big way. A lot of time is wasted when applications have to be screened out. A lot of unqualified candidates also apply. So, this kind of tracking system, which is powered by artificial intelligence, it can help the companies screen out unwanted applications. And when they have done it, then the required applications can be processed by humans. So, the employees will save a lot of time browsing through unwanted applications through this system. Then there are HR chatbots. So we just talked about employee portals, and then we talked about onboarding process where employees' queries can be sorted out. But even they will not cover every possible question or the concern of workforce. So HR chatbots have been developed that can instantly address the FAQs, the frequently asked questions of the employees, and in real time. There are recruiting chatbots. So these chatbots also use artificial intelligence to interpret conversational language sent by applicants, and they send them replies. And they also help in manual tasks like interview scheduling, collecting automated screening answers, and providing answers to anyone who is visiting the career pages of the website of the company. And they direct them to the recruiter if they are found appropriate. So applicants could be having a lot of questions regarding the benefits provided by the company, regarding the application status and everything. So recruiting chatbots are helping on that front. So these were some of the digitally transformed HR processes and functions that are facilitating employees. Now, when processes are getting digitally transformed, that is also leading to another change. That is leading to skill-centric organizations. Now, you can see an image here. So, this is a surgeon operating with the help of robots. So, at the University of Tokyo, they have developed this intuitively operable master-slave surgical robotic system. So it helps doctors to pierce a hole in the body of the patient and put the robot inside, a small robot, and do the surgery where human hands cannot reach. And this is also allowing doctors to conduct surgery from remote places. Like doctor could be sitting in one country, operating this robot from some distantly, and doing the surgery on a patient who is located at some other country. So this is the future. This is how the things will be done. So when we talk of skill-centric organizations, now we can see that if you need doctors, it is not just about the knowledge, the technical knowledge about the medicines and how to do surgery. It is also about working with robots and artificial intelligence. So altogether, the scenario has changed and different types of skills are becoming important. So new age organizations are moving towards this new operating model for work and workforce that places skills more than jobs at the center. So currently jobs are important, but then now in many of the organizations today and in the future organizations, skills will become more important. So when we say skills, what do we mean by skills? So skills would encompass the hard skills or technical skills like coding, data analysis, accounting. It would include human capabilities like critical thinking, emotional intelligence. It would also include the potential of the person, like their latent abilities, adjacent skills that may be developed in future to some other kind of ability. Why are skills important? No, it is the skills that are defining worker as unique whole individuals. Each person, each of us have an array of skills, interests, passions, motivations that are differentiating us from others. So, keeping the skills of a person in mind, the person can be deployed to a particular kind of work. So, what are skill centric organizations doing? The new technologies such as artificial intelligence, automation that require new skills will be primary drivers of their organization adopting skill-based approach. As we just saw, the surgeon performing a surgery with the help of a robot sitting at a remote place. So skills will become more important. So what is automation doing today to the work? Automation is pushing organizations to unfreeze their jobs. What are jobs? Jobs are collection of various tasks and responsibilities, activities. So when they unfreeze the jobs, all the components are lying separate. It's like when you open a machine and separate its component parts. So that is unfreezing the job. They are disaggregating them into their component tasks, and then they're reassembling them, the set of tasks depending upon the need. So there is nothing like job. At one point of time, you could assemble certain parts together. At other point of time, you could assemble other parts together as a one-time activity. So it's not the permanent job. Somebody holding a permanent position, say for 2 years, 3 years, doing a given set of activities, now that will no longer be done. So jobs will now need to have flexible structures. That is what is happening in skill-centric organizations. So another picture, as you can see here, this is a robot. This robot is milking cow. So this is a farm. This is a picture of a dairy, as written in the bottom, if you can see. So 8 robots at this calm dairy, they milk more than 400 cows. So something that was done manually earlier, now being done by robots more quickly. But then there is one more thing. Using robots and automating the jobs does not mean that you can do away with humans. Humans will be required, maybe with new set of skills. So there is a growing acknowledgement of the importance of human centricity at work. Though certain jobs may become obsolete, but then new jobs would emerge. So people, humans will always be required. But the focus will be on job redesigning, reskilling, and upskilling people. One more concept that will become important and is gradually becoming important is identifying the adjacent or foundational skills of workers. So suppose somebody was milking cow. The person, now it has been automated. Robots are doing it. So the job of the person has become obsolete. But then if you identify the adjacent skills of the person, foundational skills of the person can be redeployed to another kind of work. And that is what organizations doing. And when skilled workers with different kind of skills, they are coming into the organizations, they want more autonomy and choice as to how to apply their skills to work. So here I've taken a case of Unilever. They are pioneers in this direction. They are skill-centric organization. So they say that we are beginning to think about each role at Unilever as collection of skills rather than a job title. So it's not about assistant manager marketing, deputy manager HR. So they are viewing uh, everything, each role as collection of skills, not a title of a job. So there is internal talent marketplace at Unilever. So what is the meaning of talent marketplace? It is like an inventory of skills in the organization. They have all the inventory, who has got which skills, so that they have projects and tasks, and they can send people to those projects and tasks. And who are these people? They also decide if it will be a permanent employee or a U worker at Unilever. They have designated certain workers as U workers. So, who is a U worker? A U worker is a contract worker who will be there with the company for some time for short term projects and will also get some core set of benefits. So, we are moving towards gig economy. Gig workers are there, permanent workers are there. So, there are works and tasks of different varieties. And at Unilever, the work is now being divided into projects, tasks, and deliverables rather than a job. And they foresee that these siloed departments, marketing department, production department, finance department, these departments will be breaking down in the future. And employee contribution will be viewed in terms of outputs and skills rather than how much time did they spend on a job. So it's not like if a person worked 3 years as a marketing manager, now he should be promoted to another position. It will be more in terms of skills. Does the person have necessary skills to be moved to a higher level? So it will be done that way. So that is what the companies have begun to do. So the skill-based organizations in practice, they work on 4 principles. First, liberating work from the confines of the job, reconceiving workers from being employees in the jobs to being workforce of one. So when jobs do not exist, so their workers are not seen as employee in the job. It's whole one workforce. Whosoever is required at any place would be sent there rather than being positioned at particular job. They use skills rather than jobs to make decisions about work and the workforce, and they are building a skills hub. So it's all about skills and skills. Our new education policy has also taken a step in this direction when they have, when they are allowing people, the students of different disciplines to take up papers of their choice. So a student of physics could be studying yoga also. A student of geography could be studying music also. So this is the flexibility that our new education system will be providing. Why? The focus is on building skills, foundational skills, rather than certain specialized skills. So when we say liberating work and workers from confines of job, what does it mean? It means that the work is getting fractionalized, breaking down the work into small projects or tasks, as we talked about earlier. So that is happening. Plus, certain organizations have adopted for partial fractionalization. So what is happening there is employees are working on the jobs, but they are allowed to find time and work on projects which are using their skills. Projects within the organization, anywhere within the organization, on the basis of their skills and interests. So, artificial intelligence powered technology give them suggestions about the opportunities that exist in the organization that they can take up. So you can see that all this is happening for the development of the employee, getting varied experience. So It's partial fractionalization. I'm working on my job, but then I'm also working on some project in my organization, during the working hours. So at Hire, this company is working in fully fractionalized mode. So they have different projects, small projects existing. They do not have jobs. And employees with relevant skills, they are deployed on specific projects. So these projects are like micro enterprises. People with relevant skills coming in, working there, innovating, working creatively, and coming out with best result. And not more than 10 to 15 employees are working on each project. So it's project based working. It's not jobs, it's projects based on the skills. So there is another concept that is coming in, that is cross company talent exchanges. So different companies that are non competing, they are exchanging employees. I'll give you my employees with relevant skills, you give me your employees who would be working on projects and tasks. So there is talent exchange. So US Department of Defense and private sector defense organizations in USA, they did this. They have jointly created public-private talent exchange. So in another example is the Cleveland Clinic. What are they doing? They are not designating their employees as doctors or nurse. They are defining all staff as caregivers. These caregivers are working around patients. So a team of caregivers would be working on one patient, depending upon the skills of the caregivers. So this is what is happening. They are liberating workers from confines of the job. It's more project based. So how is talent management taking place in digitally transformed skill-based organizations? So when skill is becoming important, traditional HR system is not working on skills. It is working on jobs. So we are rethinking, organizations are rethinking how will we carry out different functions in skill-based organizations. So there will be skill-based hiring. So what is skill-based hiring? What the companies do, job, when a work need arises, a job requisition is opened and algorithms are used to screen candidates based on their prior experiences and degrees. This is what is currently done. But with skill-based approach, things would be done a bit differently. So they would first determine what skills will be needed to perform the work. Who is best positioned to deliver the work? The permanent employee or maybe a freelancer? Who should we target? Then workers are selected on the basis of their skills. Now, artificial intelligence is used here to understand the capabilities of the existing workers who have been successful in this type of work for which we have opening. So their artificial intelligence is trying to identify the capabilities of the workers, existing workers, and on the basis of that, they will use filters to screen in the applicants who have those skills that have already been found successful in the employees who are currently working in that portfolio. So to understand this better, I've taken one example of one telecommunication company. So this one telecom company needed machine learning skills. It did not search for candidates who had degree in machine learning or artificial intelligence because these candidates are hard to find. So what did they do? They instead analyzed the profile of thousands of workers who had, in the market, who say that they were machine learning experts. And then they identified the aggregation of skills, experiences, and pathways that these workers took to develop their skills with which they were working today. So they are not hiring people with degree in the relevant area. They are instead trying to find out people who are currently working on these jobs, what skills do they have? And once they have identified the skills, now they created algorithms to search and hire for those candidates who had those skills rather than just degree in artificial intelligence or machine learning. So their talent pool increased by 3 times when they have liberated themselves from just the need for a degree. They are looking for skills. If the candidate has those skills, later on, they can learn about machine learning. They can be trained to work on machine learning. So these are called adjacent skills. The skills, foundational skills, with the help of which you can develop technical skills later on, or any other skill that is required. So this is becoming important today. Hiring workers with adjacent skills and then later on training them, hiring them and training them with the specific skills that you need in them. So that was skill-based recruiting. Then there is a skill-based pay. Today, pay is on the basis of the position in the hierarchy and a job that the person is holding. But then later on, it will be skill-based pay. So if you have the skills, you will be paid accordingly. So many organizations that choose to retain job structure, that okay, we'll also have jobs. So they can have 2 bases of giving salary. One is salary based on the job, and then there could be a skill salary. That would be based on the market value of an organizational need for their skills. So if I have the skills that have value in market, if I have the skills that is needed by my organization, then I will get the skills salary. If I'm low on those skills, I'll get low salary. If I'm high on those skills, this component will rise. So skill-based salary will be used. And IBM is using this kind of method. They have already begun experimenting with this. And then there would be skill-based performance management. Currently, we are using the performance management approaches that just evaluate the outcomes. Has the person been able to deliver the outcomes, achieve the goals? It is not evaluating the skills. But then skill-based performance management system will focus more on skills. Because if the person has necessary skills, then goals will definitely be achieved. So Google is doing it. Google is striving a balance. They are trying to balance skills and outcomes in its new performance management process. So the employees, along with their superiors, they identify the priorities. Which skills do they need to develop? So superior subordinate sitting together. And then they identify specific learning opportunities based on these priorities, training programs and other kind of activities through which those skills can be developed in the employees. So these MNCs, they are front runners. They are leading the way for other companies to follow. So when so much is happening about artificial intelligence, robots, and automation, there is this human machine interface taking place in the organization. Here is this image of a robot. This humanoid robot, it can even blink its eyes and speak. So it has been staffed at the information desk of a high-end departmental store in Tokyo. So it's not any human being who is sitting there providing information to the customers. It is this humanoid robot that is doing it. So people are interacting, employees are interacting on day-to-day basis with these kind of robots. Such interactions are taking place. So artificial intelligence tools, they aim at empowering workers by automating the routine work. And humans are left to focus on more complex tasks. So their daily interaction of workers with artificial intelligence can be in the form of supervising artificial intelligence work. That is, you are using machine as subordinate. You are supervising their work. Or AI could be directing you. So machine is acting as supervisor. Or machine could be acting as a teammate, working together. Artificial intelligence can also act as a coach. We have experienced it. So you all must have experienced that when you write a mail, a Gmail. So or the suggestions come on the basis of the nature of your mail. Is it a formal mail, official mail, friendly mail? Then it will give you suggestions for grammatical corrections, correct usage of words, apps like Grammarly and other such kind of apps based on artificial intelligence, and they're coaching people. They observe people's decision-making effectiveness and then they make recommendations. So this is how humans are interacting with artificial intelligence every day. But then human-machine interface can have challenges at the workplace. So what are these challenges? I'll talk about a few of them. One is issues in maximizing the value of human AI collaborations. So though people are now working with smart machines all over the world, but these machines have not yet been optimized for people. And people have not figured out how to maximize the value of these collaborations. Working with machine, fine, but how to maximize the collaboration, get the best out of it. So if you see an example of Uber cab drivers. So artificial intelligence directs their driving. So when they get frustrated with those directions, getting directions all the time, they find clever ways around all algorithms. So what do? They manipulate them, or they defy them by finding out ways. So human AI collaborations are yet to be optimized. It might frustrate people many a time. Then AI leaves harder tasks for humans. AI is used to do the simpler tasks, and then the complicated tasks are left for people to do. So some of the jobs like prioritizers, when AI is acting as prioritizer, triage, nurse, subordinate. So they are doing it, and then when they have done the easy thing, then the complicated thing will be left for humans to do. Then many doctors are now working more with artificial intelligence rather than junior professionals. So what problem has it caused? When junior professionals are attached with senior doctors, they learn by observing them. But now this is not happening. When more and more AI will come into use, this will become a problem. And also, when AI is doing all those basic jobs, then maybe some entry level roles uh, get limited. Then AI structured work can also decrease autonomy and employee engagement. So, though some workers enjoy having more structured work experience with the help of AI, and they trust AI more than their superiors, but then workers may feel uncomfortable when it might happen that they disagree with AI, or when they have new ideas that AI can't accommodate. After all, AI is just based on programs. So AI structures their work in a way that only maximizes business results without considering the worker's needs. So after all, it's not real intelligence, it's artificial intelligence. So workers may feel uncomfortable. We must be have all people here. I hope having experience with Alexa, Siri, the way they respond. So it's all programmed responses. So you ask any complicated question or something which is different, many a time you don't get the desired responses, and that could be a cause of frustration. Collaborating with AI can increase loneliness, isolation, and questions of identity. So when there is less interaction with humans, after all, man is a social animal. So when there is less interaction with humans, it results into loneliness. Just working with machine and computer can give rise to all that. So organizations may need to consciously foster social interactions between employees. So like digital life underwriters of insurance, they work only with AI system as their daily companions. So you can imagine the level of loneliness that they would be experiencing. So when robot is doing certain tasks like fills prescriptions and pneumatic tube distribution system for those prescriptions, it means that pharmacist who was doing this task, interacting with patients, sending medicines to their rooms, pharmacist is not doing, robot is doing it. So pharmacist is just limited to her own cubicle and becoming lonely at work. So when you interact with different people, you get refreshed, you talk to them, you get new ideas. That is altogether a different experience. So working with artificial intelligence and robots lead to such problems. So there is a need to reinvent workforce practices when humans and machines are working in close coordination. So organizations need to redesign their talent practices. They need to think of compensation and rewards that could be adjusted for new AI and human collaborations. The performance reviews should be changed. The basis on which performance is reviewed should also incorporate those aspects of usage of AI and machines, robots. And the bonus and salaries should also be commensurate with how well people are working with machines. So that was all from about this aspect. That was my perspective. Now I request the participants to come up with their experiences, their insights, or if they have any question. No questions? What has been your experience with artificial intelligence? Anyone? All right. So maybe if there is nothing to share, maybe we can end the session.
Now I would like to call upon Shubhati, Assistant Professor of the Department of Marketing, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ankita. Honorable Chief Guest of this session, Dr. Shefali Nandan, and all the participants, a very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of the department, Bharat Mada College, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed delegate, Dr. Shefali Nandan, Assistant Professor, University of Allahabad, for her presence and contribution to the perspectives and priorities of National Seminar on Sustainability. Thank you, ma'am, for the inspiring and encouraging us with your words on this special day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to thank our head of the department, principal, vice principal, manager, assistant manager, faculty, organizing teams, volunteers, and all the students for their relentless effort for making this webinar successful. Once again, thank you everyone and have a nice evening to all.
Thank you.